Howdy do, and welcome back to what is essentially a part 2 of the first podcast that we did. And I say a part 2 because we have the same guest back on this one with a couple topics. I'm not sure of everything we're going to be talking about. It's like the first one is going to be really kind of more of a rambly thing, unlike the Jinx Chaos Theory, which is about Jinx specifically. This one's going to be all over the place, and it could be about anything and whoever comes on, and we just talk about stuff. But this one's going to have the same guest because we had a lot more to talk about and never got to it, A. And then B, the RWBY Volume 7 trailer came out, and then there's some thoughts about that as well. There's not going to be any spoilers, though, so if you want to watch, listen, I should say, to this, because the thing is, you can listen to this in the background without having to watch it. It'll be a still image on the actual video itself the whole time. And so with that being said, you know who I am already, I'm Gamrison, so I'm going to let them introduce themselves, because they were Knight. They were Jenks, but with like an E, and now they're probably something else, so I'm just going to let them have it. So there you go, you go ahead.
Yes, hi, my name is... It's very nice to meet you, even though I've been here before.
Here's the thing about having kids on a podcast, y'all. Stuff goes everywhere fast, as much as they have energy and bounce off walls. What was that? What was that?
I call it...
She's like doing this. No, I just did it. Okay, well, you know what? Moving on.
You're welcome.
I'm not thankful, though. This isn't November. Now, where we're going to start probably is we're going to talk about, I put up this tweet on, as you might imagine, MySpace. No, it was on Twitter. And I said I'd give context later, and now I'm giving the context now if you're listening to this. And it says, I'll give context later, but Cinder, with 4 different options after it. For whatever reason, Hulk is winning, and okay, but there's 4 options: Hulk, Fall, Ella, and Block. Now, any of the other 3 could have won, and it would have been fine by me, but Hulk is winning, and that just fuels her, thing, and now I'm just like, okay, great, that sucks. But we're gonna have to give context on that. So you want to go first? You want me to go first?
I'm gonna go first.
Okay, go for it.
Let me tell you the beautiful origin of Cinder Hulk. Now, I'm gonna start off by saying Cinder Hulk itself is a thing from the game The Leagues of the Legends. It's a thing in that. And he can probably explain it way better. But it is a thing from that game. But what I've decided to do with this word, what I want you to do, I want you take Cinder from RWBY, imagine her face, her head, everything up here, but from the neck down is this really buff, strong, muscular man body. And it's wearing nothing but a red towel. She doesn't have her red dress anymore. It's a red towel. Why a red towel? That's irrelevant. You're looking way too deep into stuff. And so basically it's Cinder combined with Hulk, like the Avengers Hulk, and it's beautiful. And instead of smashing, she burns things. Yeah.
This was a conversation we had for a full hour, and I didn't record it, and I wish I did, but that's my sister's at that age where puns are extremely funny. Which is I find to be one of the better stages when you're growing up, instead of like the miserable phase or the everything makes you angry phase. So I'm okay with it. Puns can be great. But that means when it comes to this word, because she watched RWBY Chibi and she's watching the series, and now anytime that word comes up, it's always related to that character from RWBY, but then she'll always turn it into a pun of some sort, which is where all the options come from, right? You got Cinder Hulk, which is the jungle item from League of Legends, which gives you extra health if you're a jungler, but also allows you to burn stuff, because they're for tank junglers, and they tend to have really bad clears, which means they have a hard time clearing jungle camps without the extra damage the burn gives, but then they're also tanky, so they can kind of bulk up. Okay, you spilled water. Mayday, mayday. Made it. We're flooding. This is a flash flood. Gosh. Now, Fall, the character from RWBY herself, Ella, as in like Cinderella, the Disney character, and then Block, because I thought it was Cinder Block, because concrete, right? Concrete, Cinder Block. I thought that made sense. It's not. It's Cinder Block. I don't know why, but even that, she made a Minecraft pun about that. With
Now, the Cinder Hulk thing doesn't stop there. Take the exact same thing with the Cinder buff. Minecraft version. Cinder Block.
Yeah, like Minecraft, that thing everybody was playing earlier this year because Minecraft made a resurgence. Even I'm guilty of it. There's a Minecraft series in progress on this channel. Jacksepticeye even played it for the first time. And speaking of first timers, so did Nags21. He played it for the first time. So I mean, yeah, Minecraft. That's the thing I can put in the SEO now, right? I can put that in the SEO because we mentioned Minecraft several times now.
Yeah.
Awesome, I'm doing it. Okay, but okay, what about Ella? Make a pun there, because unless that's a twist that we don't know about in the actual show, which I doubt, but I don't know anymore. Go ahead, go for it. Because I'm 99% sure with Volume 7 coming that like Cinder Hulk is not about to be a thing and Cinder Block is not about to be a thing. I'm just gonna call it. You can call me out, probably not, but that's my prediction.
Well, how about this? Try our new flavor, Cinder Vanilla.
That's not what I said. See? See? It was a good try though. It was a good try.
You did say make a pun with Ella.
So yeah, unless oh snap. What if wait. There's a thought and it's on my head. I can't think about it. It's about flavors. There's something that came out recently with different flavored drinks for characters. And I don't remember it. I'm going to be so mad because afterward I'm going to remember it. It's like different flavors for... Well, that's gone now. But anyways, yeah. You saw the Volume 7 trailer though, right?
Yep.
Okay, what did you think of it?
I think it was a trailer. It was a good trailer, though. I enjoyed it.
Sure. That's how this works. It's just like, hey, yeah, that's a trailer that exists in the world today. Yeah. Woo! Yeah. All right.
Imagine if all interviews were like this.
No, I mean, I've done an interview. I've only done one interview because that's the only interview I ever needed. That felt like a really bad flex. No, it was just that the interview went so well that I was able to keep that job for, okay, never mind. Point is.
Good, going.
I'm sorry. Okay, look. Level with me. You can't look because it's not a video, it's just audio, but.
Is this better?
You can sit, you're allowed to sit. You know that, right? You're allowed, you can do it.
I know.
Okay, then go ahead. Go for it. There you go. Maybe be more even with the mic. Look at this.
There, I'm leveled with you.
All right. So, I guess we won't really talk about theories then, because there's one prominent theory. There's one thing that's interesting to me when it comes to RWBY. And I've talked about this on Twitter with a couple of my friends. And it's just kind of funny because it seems like it's an overall theory that exists on YouTube, but it's not like the most dominant theory. It's just there's always a theory that Qrow, you know who Qrow is.
Of course.
Do you?
Yes.
Do you?
Yes.
There's a theory.
Of course I do.
There's this theory that always seems to pop up that he drinks because he killed somebody. And also he's everyone's mother.
Ooh.
I'm actually really not against theory crafting at all. I'm just kind of curious. I've never actually watched any of the videos to really know how that happens, but theory crafting can be kind of fun though. Theory crafting just in general and stuff. So I imagine now that Volume 7's dropped, people have theories, and like he was in the trailer, so he probably, I don't know, maybe he is someone's mother. The thing's not coming out till November 2nd. We don't know, but what'd you say ooh for?
Because there's so much that can be done with this theory.
Like what? Elaborate. Go ahead.
Things.
I mean, yeah, that's the point. What things? Because I got nothing.
Well, for starters, he could be a mother.
I guess we're gonna move on at this point. I guess because I'm pretty sure there's nothing there. You just think something's there and it's funny, but there's nothing there, is there? Be honest.
Mother. Can you imagine Qrow a mother?
No, I can't. That's the point.
Sure you can. Imagine him, a mother.
I'm gonna send you more cropped face photos at this point. How about that? How about I do that?
With hundreds of children.
I don't think I want to. How about that?
No, not having children. Just like he's holding a couple kids, and then there's some more kids around him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to like just an army basically.
Yep.
So they're a K-pop group.
An army of baby crows.
Qrow and his K-pop group. Here's a theory. We're making a theory right now. Comment section. We're making a theory together. It's us and you right now. What's the name of their K-pop group? What do they name it?
Qrow Pop.
Oh, that's better than I was gonna go. Never mind. Actually, that one probably works better. I was gonna say something like a murder of crows, because that's what you call a flock of crows is a murder. Mm-hmm. So, haha, get it? Because it's never mind. It's bad. We're moving on. What do you gotta say?
Murderous Q.
Yeah, moving on. Voices. You want to move on to voices first? You just got more RWBY stuff.
Sure.
That didn't answer my question.
Yeah, it did.
No, RWBY stuff or voice stuff.
I mean, technically, yeah, something, and I provided an answer vocally, so, you know.
No, I gave you two options and you just said yes.
Yeah. Why not both?
RWBY voice stuff. Okay, sure. Well, how will we go about this one? I think something that's kind of interesting, actually, is some of the characters in Chibi. Because Chibi is kind of like it's like a spin-off, and it's like, I want to say, for lack of better, some of the characters get to be a bit more exaggerated than they get to be in the main series, which is a more serious series. Some of the characters who, it's not even necessarily that it's out of character, but just like they get to, I guess, be more, they have more range, would be how it works. That feels bad, because it feels like I'm saying that the characters don't have range already in the regular series, but I guess like because it's centered around jokes and stuff, they get to be more animated, I guess, be more emote-like emote more often. That would be the way I could put it. When otherwise, if they're like a villain or something, they'd probably be a bit more serious and monotone and not goofy. That's something that's kind of interesting, like the Big Red Button episode. That's a good example. Remember the Big Red Button?
Big Red Button.
You're just repeating what I'm saying.
This big red button is challenging you.
Yeah, kind of like that. Or the fact that, like, I don't know. It's just a funny short series, or the episodes are short and it's just kind of funny, versus the regular series, which definitely has some serious, heavier moments in it. So we'll see about Volume 7. Volume 7 will be interesting to me because I just started binge watching the show this year because I had friends that were into it for a while. I mentioned this in the last one, but it's like, in case you didn't see the last one, had friends that were into it for a while, finally got into it, binged it all. There's a lot of stuff that's still fresh in my mind, too, that I'm wondering about going into this next one. That would be interesting. I can't really talk about them because they're kind of spoilers of some of the things that I'm thinking about. I need to find an avenue to talk about some of those. Maybe I'll stream or something and talk about spoiler stuff on the stream. But in this case, I'm going to try and keep it spoiler-free in case you ever were even kind of interested in watching the show, and that way you can go watch it without the spoilers. So, what are you doing? Okay, you're doing something in the world, and that's all right. So, in the transition to the voices, though, like, there's a lot of voices and stuff that I think, or at least that's what I find the most interesting, right? Because with my own voice, I don't really have a lot of voice impressions and stuff that I could do, per se. And so then to watch people have, like, the voice that they do for the show, and to find out, like, the voice actor or actresses or whomever, like, their voice is even different. Like, they do a voice for the show, so even their regular voice possibly, right? And then to see them go do Chibi and then have even, like, a more range on that voice that's kind of like already, like, a different voice, I just think that's kind of cool. Props to that, because I can't do that. I can't invent a voice for example, and then in that voice, give it range. If I invent a voice, it's going to have like really like a one note kind of thing, and that's it. Or I use my regular voice, and then maybe that's more range, but I can only do still so much, I feel.
You poor thing.
No. I didn't say that for pity. I'm just saying, like, props to them and their craft, because I think that's pretty impressive, in my opinion, people who can do that. I know people even who can kind of do like voice work, and it's already kind of impressive the kind of work they can do, because it is work, right? Like, it's not just, you just wake up. I mean, some characters, if it's just your regular voice, maybe it's a little bit easier than doing like a specific kind of character or something, but still, even, it's still work, right? It's voice work. It's voice over work. So I just find that pretty impressive. But what about you? What voices do you like doing?
Well, my own.
I mean, I yeah, sure, but like, what else? What kind of stuff do you like doing?
I've sorry. I've also enjoyed doing anything really. The only specific voice I've done is Monokuma.
Ah, yes, of course. That despicable bear.
A little bit of RWBY, but it needs some work.
So, for context, there's code words. If I say Smalls, she knows
You're killing me, Smalls!
to do the Funimation anime voice for Monokuma. If I do ukulele,
Hang on.
she just falls out flat laughing. Okay, cool. Yeah, good thing we have enough room in here for people to fall out.
Because, like, this one's harder. You said it was like, you said his voice is like a demonic Mickey Mouse.
You already know how to do the voice. Why are you asking me?
No, I'm not asking you. Remember when you said that?
I'm saying because I can't do Monokuma's voice.
It's like a demonic Mickey Mouse.
Well, it basically is, because, like, okay, so for context in the third game, no spoilers in case you want to play the third game at some point in your life, but the voice actor for the English voice actor for Monokuma did the voice for all three games, but in the beginning half of the third game, his voice sounds a little different, which had people questioning if it was. It turns out he threw out his voice before recording the first half of the voice lines for the game, so he sounds like a demonic Mickey Mouse for the first half of the third game. Ergo, if you want to learn how to sound like him, kind of just learn how to sound like a demonic Mickey Mouse. There you go.
I'm just imagining this evil-looking Mickey Mouse.
It's called Bendy in the Ink Machine, if you want to know what a demonic-looking Mickey Mouse is. Hello?
Yeah.
Did I just kill a dream? Is that what it's like? I'm sorry. That was a terrible feeling. No, I saw the life leave your eyes for a second there.
No, it's fine. You didn't.
Now I feel bad. So, I mean, the thing about voices, though, whether you're professional or not, it seems like one of the main things about doing voices is you really gotta have, I guess for simplistic sake, 'cause like I can't find the better words, fun with it. Like if you're gonna do the voice and you're gonna go all in, like go all in with the voice, right? It's kind of like doing YouTube in a sense, and with this, it's kind of like doing anything. Eventually you gotta jump into it. Eventually, you gotta get your feet wet in whatever it is you're trying to do, or you're never gonna get good at doing whatever it is that you're trying to do. Why are you dumping water on your feet? That was not the cue for you to dump water on your... Dang it! Okay.
Gotta get my feet wet.
Anyways. Sorry. But I guess what I'm saying here is like, when I first started doing YouTube, I wanted to do very creative ideas, and I started off in the League of Legends niche on the Get Jinx channel. It's still there. We still post videos on Wednesdays because there's still a crowd over there that's there for the Jinx stuff. So I'm like, okay, cool. But originally, we used to do 7-day-a-week videos, and we do all kinds of stuff, from voice impressions to the songs. And what I learned about, like, not even the voice impressions, but especially the songs, is that I couldn't really sing, let alone rap. Rapping might be easier only because you don't really have to really hold notes, though. But still, if you're not good at it, eventually you just gotta practice and just jump into doing it before you get better at it. I wouldn't say I'm good now, but the last song I made is definitely heads over heels better than the first song I made. All the lessons you learn from just having the hands-on experience. And that applies to most things in life, I feel, where yes, fear will try to hold you back from doing things you might actually be able to do, but you gotta power through that to get to that point, to get the learning lessons so that you can eventually get to the other side of that mountain. You can't climb the mountain just looking at the mountain. Eventually, at some point, you gotta start climbing up the mountain. So, with that being said, with voicing, it seems like it's kind of the same thing too, where it's like the voice might be bad at first. Maybe you gotta practice making the voice because there's a specific voice you want to hit, a specific sound you're trying to go for, or something. It doesn't necessarily have to be on a recording, but you got to start doing it somewhere, sometime. If it's in the shower, if it's in the comfort of your car when no one else is in the car, because cars can be really good sound booths too, by the way. But whatever the case is, you got to definitely practice. Practice. When they say practice makes perfect, it sounds redundant, I guess, for some people, or it sounds like overused, whatever. It really is the case, though. Like, the more practice you get on something, the better you're eventually going to become, as long as you're willing to learn off of whatever it is you're trying to do. So when I say ukulele, that kind of smoldered off a bit. That was just for the game version of Monokuma's voice, though, because he has the sprite where he has this like ukulele, and we used to text each other and communicate via Danganronpa sprites. Now it's just pictures of Raven from RWBY, but like with the middle part. We did this in the first episode. It's still that, and I've gotten like dozens of pictures now done where I crop the face the specific way, and that's just how we communicate now, actually. Via text message, that's it. It's Danganronpa sprites and then Raven, that's it.
I know, it's horrifying.
It's hilarious. I will campaign. I will make a whole campaign slogan and everything about why this is the greatest idea I've ever come up with ever.
You probably will. And it is a good idea. She has no nose.
It crops out the middle of the face, so it's just lips and eyes, and it's hilarious. And I'm sorry, but I'm not even sorry.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so it's just you gotta. That's the advice hour. Suddenly we hit the advice hour of the podcast. That's the advice I would give to a lot of things, especially like you're still growing up. There's gonna be things you're gonna want to do, but you might feel you're not good at doing them. But you at least gotta practice them to know if you could ever actually go for it, though. You can't spend life wondering, like, well, could I have been, or what if, you know? You know? You're not even paying attention.
I know.
I've finally become the character in this story we call life, where I just give advice that no one cares about. Because technically, I'm not all that old, so I'm not old enough for people to be like, oh, he's old. He's like a sage. He's like wisdom incarnate. So like, okay, yeah, whatever, dude.
Beard that he can stroke like this.
Yeah, I don't have that. It's all scruffy right now.
Except you can't see it. Just imagine a beard that goes from your chin down to your feet.
Call it a cinder beard.
Exactly. No. Hey, you said it.
You also got to make sure you're close to the mic when you're talking to be heard. Not like that. But that's just. You got any advice though while we're on the topic you want to give about stuff? Just
things in general.
Kind of related to what we're talking about, but yeah, go for it.
So voice tips.
Sure. Okay, get comfortable. Sure. Go for it. Dang.
Okay, I'm gonna give you some good voice tips. Well, these have been good tips, but I'm gonna give you tips. Okay? So, we're gonna take this character, this brand new character, okay? And we're gonna call him...
What's their name?
Brand new character.
Give him a name.
Brand new character. Yeah. And so, brand new character has a person. You pick a personality. I'm saying you pick a personality.
Oh, right. Khakis. That was actually a great idea.
Sure, we'll go with khakis.
Okay, no. Anime main character, joyful, naive. There you go.
Okay, so you pick joyful and naive.
Happy, stuff like that.
Yeah, okay. So, now that we know what this character is like, now that we know their personality, now we need a voice to go with said personality. And I'm not saying the voice technically needs to go with the personality, but it does help a lot. If they're cheerful, then if they're always cheerful, then their voice is going to be a bit more up here, because they're going to be happy and they're going to be upbeat. If they're like a depressed person, if they're a bit more miserable, then they're going to be a bit lower. They're going to always be down here. So we have a brand new character, and he is a happy, jolly little man.
Gosh.
Jolly little man. And so he needs a happy, jolly little voice and a jolly little tone to go with his happy, jolly little life.
Uh-huh.
So basically have him talk like this. If your character... What am I even doing?
I don't know. I'm just letting you go for it.
If they're, like... I don't know. Basically what I'm trying to say is when voicing someone is to, like he said, go all in. But most importantly, like, it's all about emotion. It's like, it's all about emotion. You put lots of emotion into it, and that emotion go with them, their personality. Like, let's say, let's take a best example is the insane character.
Who, Zane?
No, insane.
Who is Zane, and why are we in them? Why are we... What is Zane? Is it like when Donald swallowed Mickey and Goofy?
The
inside story?
That sounds wrong.
How does that
out
sound
of context.
Wrong? What There's literally the episode. You can go watch it on YouTube. He accidentally swallows them because they got shrunk. They're in a laboratory. They get into the cup and he drinks and they're in the vocal.
You just said, oh, when he swallows them. That's all you said.
How is that bad? In the comment section, tell me how that's bad. I'm missing it right now.
Anyway, so you said you were having trouble with Ukulele's voice.
I'm not even going to attempt to do any of the voices, but it's just...
Do it.
No, because the problem with the game version of Monokuma's voice is that it's a high voice, but it's somehow also a voice with bass and actually is kind of low. Not like super low, but just lower than when you first hear it. When you first hear it, you think Mickey Mouse. But if you listen to it for long enough, you realize it's definitely lower on the spectrum than Mickey Mouse. It's not... If there was a spectrum where there's like a middle voice, which is kind of just normal, high voice, low voice, his voice is more of in between medium voice and high voice. That's the actual problem, is I can't do that.
You're describing this.
In a way, yes. A bit more higher than that because it has more bass in it, though, as well. So you have to have more oomph in it. Even the actual voice actor that did it could only record like 38 minutes at a time for the voice lines, or else their throat would kind of get injured a bit. And it's kind of how they threw out their voice before the third game, was practicing the voice. So it's like, it's a challenging voice, even for the person that has the voice.
Yeah.
Because so with Mickey Mouse, it's, how do I describe this? It's a high voice, but then like pull the voice towards like the back of your throat. Not your tongue though. You don't want to swallow your tongue, but like pull the voice, if you know what that means, towards the back of your throat. That's how, there we go. Yep, definitely. There's someone named DJ Dave who could do actually a really good Mickey Mouse impression. And that's like the idea of what you would do for some of these voices. And obviously we're not official voice actors or the voices for these characters. And they can do the voices perfectly and brilliantly, and that's great. But since we're talking about voice acting, like when doing impressions, I guess we're going on. Because like if you're doing YouTube or videos or something like that, and you want to dub over characters, you're doing parodies and stuff like that. One of the things you got to wonder and figure out is like, where do you put your voice for some of these characters? Because once you learn that, you can kind of use it forever. It's like consistent, right? It's like you have to find it first. Once you find it, it's there. So that's why I say the pull the throat back thing. With Goofy, it's a bit differently. When we did the Old Town Roads parody, gosh, I can't really even do a wide range of Goofy stuff. It's really just songs. It's really easy to do the Goofy voice if you're doing a song of some sort. We can't actually sing songs because we'll get hit with copyright. So there's going to be no singing of songs in this. But if you're doing some sort of like humming or anything, that's probably a good way to do it. How do I describe his though?
I don't know. It's basically what you said with Mickey. Pull it back, then.
Well, not exactly, because Mickey's a high voice. So you do the high voice, but then you pull it back. So that's how you get back here, and you do the voice like this. And it's kind of like that. But with Goofy, it's a bit different.
Oh, okay. No. Just try to do the opposite.
By the way. Nah, that's not really that great. Oh, it might have helped if I would have warmed up my voice before trying to jump into impressions too. But like, yeah, I guess you kind of, there's like a, ProZD does a really good Goofy impression on YouTube. Look them up and look up Goofy stuff from them. They did a video actually explaining the Goofy voice that they use, which is pretty good as well. They're also like an actual like voice actor and stuff, so that probably helps a bit. They're actually good at this, but yeah. We're not really off topic, but I don't think we necessarily meant to get into like how to do voices, more so than just talking about voice impressions that entertained us. So you brought up you can do Monokuma's voice and you can do a rough RWBY voice.
Well, I mean, kinda. I did want to cover what to do
when
okay. Voicing someone.
Sure.
And
you gotta make sure it's close to this.
And I did it terribly.
I mean, unless you're the actual voice actress, you're probably never going to do it perfectly, but don't beat yourself up over that. That's one thing I'll leave you guys on, too, is, hey, if you're not going to do a perfect voice, unless you're me, who's a perfectionist, so I will always beat myself up over it. That's a different story. If you don't get a perfect voice, honestly, all you have to do is get a voice that's in the ballpark, and people will actually be totally okay with that, depending on what you're doing, right? So, when you were talking about doing your voices...
No, it's like you don't have to be perfect. No, not at all. Like when doing an impression, it's not about being perfect. It's just about...
Go ahead.
When doing an impression, you don't have to be perfect. At all. You just try your best and get as close to the character as possible.
And how would you describe going about doing that process, I guess, though? Since we are talking about the actual voices, how would you go describing, like, the process of going... Would you say you just listen to them speak a bunch? Or, I don't know, just think about in your head what you want it to sound like? Because your skull amplifies the bass in your own voice, by the way, which is why you sound different to yourself than you tend to sound to other people and on recordings and stuff, in case you didn't know that.
Pretty much. You just listen to them speak.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah. Yeah. What?
You were a ball of energy, so I'm just waiting for the ball of energy to come out.
Oh.
You don't have to do the voices, by the way, if you don't want to. If you really don't think they're that great or anything. No, don't force it. I'm not. No, stop it.
No, I'm being the ball of energy.
No, you're literally just rotating in a ball. I regret this. I wish I didn't do it, but now we're here and now we gotta do it.
You made the mistake.
Yeah, I did.
You brought this upon yourself. Penne Pasta.
Jeez, what voices? I mean, like I said, I kind of do a pseudo Mickey. Shout out to DJ Dave. I can kind of do Goofy, I guess. I haven't really had to do voices. It's mainly just been my voice and then process, because a lot of the voices I did for the League of Legends channel was processed voice. So like Victor from League of Legends. There's a base voice I do for him, but a lot of the final product is through process, through Audacity and stuff. So it's not really even. It's like a knockoff Russian impression, basically. How come no one wants to play kickball with Victor, eh? I have
Victor.
a cool hand,
Victor.
a cool claw,
Victor.
a big stick. It's like
Victor.
summer camp all over again. Nobody want to play kickball with
I
Victor.
want to play kickball.
You don't want to play kickball
Yes,
with
I
Victor.
do.
No one want to play kickball with
wanna
Victor.
play
Stop playing kickball with Victor.
I want to play.
I can't be victim if I'm not kickball Victor.
I
that's-
want to
that-
play kick. I want to play kickball with you, Victor.
Why do you want to play kickball with Victor?
Because you're my best friend, Victor.
I don't know who you are.
Exactly.
That's like the basis for doing like Victor's voice right there. It's stuff like that. But you go through Audacity, you process it, you change the pitch on one of them, you like duplicate the track, you put the what's it called, the echo on it when it's like 0.005 to make the helmet effect. There's a lot of stuff that goes into the Victor voice. Same with Varus for that matter. Varus is a bit more of a raspier voice, but there's still processing in there. Thresh from League of Legends, like basically a lot of League champions. Even Lucian, I could do Project Lucian because I learned how to do a project filter on the voice, not because I could actually do Lucian's voice. I don't think, oh geez, that was like 3 years ago. I don't think I can still do it. Let's see. Everybody dies. Some just need a little help. It was like in that ballpark to do Lucian, and then you put the project filter over it, and then you suddenly have Project Lucian. You could do a whole video about it. And we did a video that was just voice impressions for Thanksgiving in 2016. That was for some reason one of my sister's favorite videos that I've ever made ever, which I don't know why, because I think it's one of the worst videos I've ever made ever. But we had like Darth Vader in there. We had Bane. We had Batman. We had Mephiles the Dark from Sonic 2006. Yeah. Oh, how ironic fate can be. So it is fun doing voices and doing songs and stuff if you can get over the initial fear, though. That is one thing that I kind of like about doing the more wackier, crazier, I don't want to say more creative stuff, because the atmosphere of YouTube when it comes to League stuff, like there's certain content you kind of just have to make or don't bother doing League YouTube right now. A lot of the creative stuff just isn't it, unfortunately. And there's a whole story there I could explain. I don't know if anyone cares, though.
Explain.
Okay, I'll try and explain this simplistically, but essentially, when League first came out, and like in the early years, we go back to 2013, 2014, even stuff like that, there used to be a lot more songs and parodies and skits and comedy and all kinds of stuff that used to be made within the League of Legends niche. And you could put that stuff on Reddit, and you could probably get to the front page of Reddit even. It was great. It was cool. Then what ended up happening is YouTube's algorithm changed to prioritize 10-minute and 1-second long videos, because when a video is that long, you can put the maximum amount of ads on that video. They also changed it to be, you want to do daily videos. You can't do like every so often videos. Even if it's consistent, you need to do everyday videos, basically. Maybe you could take like 1 day a week off, and even then you kind of worry that might be a problem. But you couldn't, once that kind of went down, you couldn't do like a 10-minute plus rap every day, 30 days, over and over every month in the new algorithm. You couldn't do animations. Like animation channels basically got gutted and died from this change because there was no way you were going to be able to do that. Then later on, I want to say maybe even was 2018 when they did the new partner program changes, but I think it was 2017 leading into it as well. They did change it to prioritize engagement instead. So what engagement means is things like likes, dislikes, comments, and then watch time. How long are people watching that video for? What this allowed to do, or what this allowed to have happen, was animators and stuff could come back. So maybe you've seen like Jaden Animations, The Odd Ones Out, stuff like that. All of them got to come back because then it's about engagement on the video instead of doing like daily videos. They can do like 2 videos a month of really good animation quality because it gets a lot of engagement, and it turns out it's fine. It's brilliant. And within the League niche, though, the problem was because of the previous change, what a lot of people switched to doing was doing basically like commentary videos, where here's like a 10-minute video of us playing in ranked, and ranked games are usually like 30 minutes. So you got actually like 3 videos out of doing a ranked game. And then you talking about a topic over it. Maybe you have some editing on there if you have an editor. If you're talking about like a patch change, and you want to have like slides come in that show like the different patch stuff that were screenshotted either from Surrender at 20 or whatever. that became the main way to do league content back then. So now, even with the changes, because the creative content's been gone for so long, it didn't come back with the changes to the algorithm. And a lot of those people that used to do the songs and the original person that did the TLDR patch notes before I took it over, which I got permission from them to take it over, by the way, too. I went to them first and was like, okay, hey, cool. Since you put this idea down and you said you're done with it, is it okay if I pick it up? And they're totally okay with it, by the way. That would be Akinola, by the way. Akinola GG now on YouTube. Or not YouTube, Twitter. Oh, no, it is on YouTube as well. I think it's just Akinola Furisimo. I can never pronounce their last name right, though. I'm sorry, yo. With that being said, that kind of became the kind of content to do. And that says all those people kind of made an exodus to Twitch or doing other kinds of content. Didn't necessarily come back. That's kind of the state of League of Legends YouTube right now. And I say that saying there are creative people that are actually big within the League niche, but maybe you don't necessarily hear about them a whole heck of a lot. Because like the subreddit, back in the day, you put a lot of creative stuff up on there and it was great. Now it's kind of just really esports stuff and then like pro player stuff and like balance stuff. The creative stuff has a lot harder of a time making it out of the controversial tab, which is where you put stuff that got 0 points. Because I literally got a comment once where someone said, I didn't watch the video, and then they had an opinion based off the title, I guess, that I put, and the thing was downvoted within the first 4 seconds. Yeah, before I even hit the retry, I don't know, man. There is a reason this channel exists, and I try and do content on this channel. The ideal thing would be to be able to kind of transition into something that I actually like doing again. That channel itself is fine, though. The subs over there, I appreciate them. The ones that stick around and watch videos and stuff, though. It's not really them. It's just the idea of doing a League video. Because if you have a League video that blows up nowadays, people are quick to call it clickbait. Even if it's really like literally not clickbait, because people don't want to watch more than a minute of videos anymore. So if I get to the meat of the topic within like the 2-minute plus mark, people don't care. And it brings a lot of stress when a video gets popular, which is not what YouTube should kind of be about if you're doing that, if you're trying to grow or something, right? So that's I've been rambling. I kind of explained it at this point. You're free to jump in. You're free to jump in. Let's just jump into it. Yeah, go ahead. We got to this topic just because, like, though, if you're gonna do YouTube, okay, time to get in my old man box here.
If you're gonna do it,
no, you can go ahead. That's fine.
I know. The important thing is to not only be creative, but the important thing is, can you stop?
The saxophone is back.
To be creative and to be yourself. No script, no lines, nothing planned, no jokes planned, nothing prepared. Just to be yourself.
Well,
actually, well, not. That's not always the case.
You basically, she's right about the being yourself and stuff like that too. As you grow or trying to grow, you might find it easier to start off making scripts because then you can organize your thoughts and not maybe ramble. Like for this kind of an idea, it's fine to just kind of that we're rambling because it's whatever. But like if you have a specific topic you want to talk about, maybe writing a script is a good idea because then maybe you start with what happens is you start talking about it and you go all over the place and you're like, oh, well, I had a consistent idea when I thought about this idea, but now we're 6 minutes in and we've not even really covered the topic completely yet. We haven't started. So scripts can actually help you organize your thoughts when you're starting out if it's something new to you doing this, but yeah, you kind of want to stay true to yourself as much as possible. You might have to play ball a little bit because YouTube and its algorithm and all the changes that can happen, but it doesn't necessarily mean you have to compromise yourself either. So, yeah.
Okay, yeah, it depends on the type of video. And there are some people who are too messed up to be themselves. And by that I mean they're like some bad people that can't...
I mean, that's what I thought you were going, but I imagine they're not on YouTube to begin with, or if they are, their videos heavily scrutinized for going into, like, say, a forest and filming, let's say, a body in a certain condition.
Yeah.
So, yeah, dang, that took a twist a little bit, but essentially, if I was going to get on my old man box, as I call it, which is really a chair, but yeah. Honestly, do you. And I know it's so cliche and it's like, that's not really a lot of depth. It's not helpful. It's not this, it's not that. But honestly, the best way you can do YouTube is just to put the you in the YouTube. What do you want to do? What do you want out of it? What do you want to accomplish? And one thing I'll reiterate that I've heard like Nags talk about, Nags21, twitch.tv/Nags21. He'll talk about this too sometimes when people will talk to him about, his experience with YouTube until he blew up and stuff. If you're in it for the money, and that's like your main goal of it, that's not a good reason to be in it for, right? If you're just focusing on that and stuff like that, it's going to be a miserable experience. Even if you finally hit that success point, suddenly this thing you were in it for is like a job, even more so than it is for the other people who at least it was a hobby that maybe became a job, because maybe the passion is still there, even though it is more of a job now. That's like probably the number one reason you don't want to be in it for. Now, to clarify, to be able to kind of do YouTube full time, you do have to be making money from it enough to justify doing it full time. And neither me nor him are saying like ignore the money, because if that's your, like, you kind of want to see if you can do YouTube as a career. Maybe you're at that point in your life where you can take that risk to see, if I push it, where could I go? We're not saying like the money's like not something that you will notice. It's not something that obviously you can use to pay your bills as a creator, right? If you're a streamer or YouTuber, the money has to kind of be there to, I guess, what I'm trying to say, support what you're doing, but it shouldn't be the focal point of what you're doing. And so when he made that statement too, I'm pretty sure, I hope I can speak on his behalf when saying that, no, it's not necessarily that you should, like, if you're not making, say, but 3 cents, just like, it's time to do YouTube full time, you gotta have a whole conversation about him, about his advice and stuff like that. I don't want to steal the words from his mouth in case he ever wants to talk about it in any avenue as well, and more of a broader scene, but that should not be the goal. The goal shouldn't be get rich and let's do YouTube to get rich. Get rich schemes, they're called schemes for a reason and not plans, right? Plans are things that can get you places. And I'm not saying you should get a get rich plan suddenly, and let's not be pedantic, and obviously you can cut in at any point too if you want. But what I'm basically saying is like you want to kind of be passionate about it, because then you'll be willing to work on stuff long time. You'll be able to kind of put your best foot forward on projects that can do better because you did. And then the money, if it comes in, then it's great. And if it comes in enough that you can do YouTube full time justifiably, great. But that shouldn't be the reason you start YouTube and you do YouTube. And you just sneezed. Great.
Yes. Money is nice. I'm pretty sure we all want money. But if you're gonna be a creator, I think the goal should be, to be there for your fans and the audience you're entertaining. Do this for them. Yeah. Like, be there for them, cause like, they look up to you. You're this idol that they look up to, and they're supporting you, and so you support them.
That's definitely like a better, I would hope no one idolizes YouTubers though, in terms of like, well, at least a super like obsessive idol kind of a thing. If you look up to somebody because of stuff they do, that's totally fine. But yeah, stuff like that is even a better reason, right? Like you see that stuff, man, the rain is coming down. I don't know if you guys can hear it, sorry, but it just got raining really hard. So that's a thing now. But yeah, right? Like if you're doing it because you see the sub numbers, like let's say 100 people, like we just broke 100 subs on this channel. For me, I see that as, okay, cool. Now when I make more videos, I got 100 people that I want to try and entertain. I'm not looking at it as, oh, hey, but I need like 1,000, for example, to get partnered on this channel or like whatever. Because that's not the good look to have. And I don't mean like good PR look. I mean like, as like if no one else is around, you in your room by yourself, you're gonna just, that's not what you should be grasping for, right? You should be looking at the fact that, hey, I got 100 people, or I got 1,000 people, or I got, let's say, 10,000 people, whatever number you're at right now. But on like, if you consider yourself on the smaller side, go for looking at the positive stuff as much as you can. And especially if it's, even though it's a dream job, it's a dream job, right? It's gonna be work, but hopefully the fire can kind of still be there. And so then that can help a bit too, I feel. If you could say as passionate about it as long as you possibly can, at least.
Hopefully the Fire Godai can still be there.
Yes. That was yeah. Yeah, brilliant pun work. I am so happy. It's something to quote Markiplier, as a matter of fact. Good. SEO. SEO. He talked about this in a video once where he talked about he likes creating for the sake of creating. And at the end of the day, that's why he would keep doing YouTube, even if it kind of fizzled out for him, is because he just likes creating stuff. It's why we see him do some of the weird stuff he's doing. Apparently on like the 30th of October, he's doing something called a heist with Markiplier, which might be that thing he did before where it was a date with Markiplier, where it was like a choose your own adventure interactive YouTube sets of videos. It was actually kind of dope in my opinion. I'm just going to be straight honest. I found that to be kind of dope, because I really like the game Shadow the Hedgehog from 2005, and that game was all about whatever decision you make takes you on a different path. It's kind of like what we've seen games kind of mimic too, like Detroit Become Human, where that's a lot of you make a choice.
So you like choice-based adventure games? You like those?
Kind of, even though all these games kind of play different. Like Detroit, I didn't play it, but from what I saw of it, like it's kind of a little bit of an adventure game. You control your character. Shadow is like an adventure game. It's like it's Sonic series, so it's an adventure platformer. And then with the date with Markiplier, what happens is there'd be a video, and at the end of the video, a scenario would happen, and then you would click on a video to go down a different path. And there was like 18 different endings, actually, if you went through them all. I don't think I did. But I kept hearing about it. People were hyping it in terms of what it was as like a YouTube creation. And so I finally went and watched it, and I was like, oh, no, that's actually great. That's a genius idea. I wish I could do something like that one day in terms of like, creating stuff. That's the ultimate goal. You want to create stuff for the sake of creation. It's why I do YouTube videos, right? Like this channel isn't popular unless something happens overnight. It's not going to be popular probably like tomorrow. So it's like,
not with that attitude.
Well, yes, not maybe with that attitude, but like my point is like the reason I keep making videos anyways is I just love making videos. I love making whatever it is I could possibly make and see what cool stuff I can come up with and see who I could possibly entertain when doing it, right? I did a stream and all it was me playing RL Craft for the first time. It was that or Still the Spire. And I just kept dying over and over and over. And someone in my chat, it was like 4 people and it was great. It was like, you made my whole day. And I was like, cool. I don't think I really did that much, but if that's what happened, then good. That's like the goal. So it's like, you know, that's the kind of things you want to be in if you go just be a creator, period, right? That's kind of some of the reasons you want to be in it for. So
your mission is accomplished when you've made someone's day.
Exactly. Now, do we have any closing thoughts? We don't necessarily have to end, but we have any like closing thoughts? Like, is the Cinder stuff done?
Banana. You said if I had any thoughts.
I said, is the Cinder stuff done?
Oh. Buff Cinder.
Why? Why? I just want to, we're not going to talk about spoilers, but you've seen, even in the chibis, you know they're an antagonist, right?
Yep, and that's why they burn things.
You know, actually,
Cinder, burn!
Okay, let's, in spirit of what we were talking about earlier, give your wackiest theory that you think is going to happen in Volume 7. Just
gumdrops and marshmallows.
Yes, and milk and cookies. No, but like, go ahead. Just go for it. Just go for it. Go to the mic and just go for a theory. Go for it. Anything. It could be anything. It could be a crossover. Like, just go for it.
RWBY's theory.
Sure, but just go for it.
But, okay. Besides Qrow being a mother. Chocolate chip cookies take over the world. Giant chocolate chip cookies. Who wouldn't love that? That'd be delicious.
There's a point there. I mean, considering how some of the stuff is gone in the previous 6, giant chocolate chip cookies taking over the world would not be the worst outcome that could possibly happen. If I have to give a crazy theory, it's not a crazy theory. I just wonder, with some of the background of some of the antagonists, they're kind of not, I want to say not fleshed out, but there's some characters where I'm trying to incorporate how some of my friends feel, as I feel like I gotta give them, give what they're trying to say more priority over mine, because I'm new to the series technically. Some of them feel like maybe some characters, or maybe just one, maybe have overstayed their welcome a bit, And for me, because I just watched through the whole series, and there's a conversation I remember from a specific episode, I wonder if we're going to see some of those characters fleshed out a bit more coming up. Because I feel like maybe the issue and the reason they feel that way, if that is a thing, is just because we don't really know much about like why some of the people are where they are, or why they've done or aligned themselves where they have. So like I said, it's not really a crazy theory. It's just more like maybe that's something that's going to be answered. Because apparently the whole series was written out from the start. So like there's already a plan and vision for like everything. So everything is still there for a reason. And I think I could take a crack at some of the reasons I think some of the people are there, but I can't do that without spoiling stuff, so I won't. So that's why I'm keeping my theory as a more of a broad, generic kind of a thing, where I just feel like some of those characters, I think, we're going to know more about them finally, and then it might make sense why they still have an arc going on of some sort. So that's my theory. And you said your theory. You can modify it right now if you want to. You want like extra big chocolate chips with the cookies?
Yay!
What about raining milk?
Can it be chocolate milk?
Yes, it's your theory. I'm saying you can just go ham.
With giant cups to go with it? So you can dunk the giant cookies in the chocolate milk?
Yes, that there we go. That is a theory, and we're gonna stamp it. It's gonna go with Qrow's K-pop group. And this is
the best volume ever.
It's going to be, but it doesn't come out till November 2nd, in which that's still over 2 weeks from now, which is why we're making this now. So in case we're absolutely right, like we will be, we have video evidence that we were correct, and you can thank us later. So, one last thing I'll touch on, because I know you're a fan of Jinx from League of Legends, is they announced an animated series, League of Legends, Riot Games. Their 10-year anniversary came up this week on the 15th. The actual official 10 years on the 27th. Don't know. Why are you doing the Qrow thing? Anyways, Jinx is getting her own animated series, so that's cool.
It's about time. I saw the Odyssey skin.
Yeah, the trailer. The Guardians of the Galaxy, but it's League of Legends with Jinx, Yasuo, Malphite, and Sona. Yeah.
Exactly. I saw that trailer, and it was, should have been a movie or a TV series.
And that's the thing, like Riot's animations like crew, they've been good for years in my opinion. When it comes to like the best departments in Riot, the ones where people are not getting their, stuff tapped and whatnot, and the work culture is actually like, maybe better. Art and music and like the animation department, those have been the ones that have just been like I would watch a movie made by these people, and looks like we're getting an animated series finally, so it's great.
It would be nice, or it would have been nice to see like the Star Guardians get some sort of series too. Just nice to see. all these skins and trailers look like they could be movies.
Yep. Behind this mask.
Behind that mask
is a K-pop group.
Murderous Q.
Dang. And they have posters. Oh, and the posters are the cropped raven faces. We're geniuses. This theory is going places, y'all. This is a great theory now.
Okay.
Now that
I'm thinking a giant crow with a blood red background and a bunch of feathers floating behind it with a rose in its mouth.
Well, I mean, that's better than what I just came up with. This is why I don't do marketing stuff, because it's just, I leave that to actual good marketing people. Or apparently children, because they have imaginations like crazy.
Murderous Q on the front.
What about puns? It needs puns.
Maybe it's Q. Well, you said a flock of crows.
It's called a murder.
Yeah. And crow begins with a Q.
Okay. At least it's not Krokashi.
So there you go.
Because that was a thing, and I hated that.
Murderous Q. It was more like Kakashi.
No. I mean, it was, but it was Qrow and Kakashi from Naruto, okay? Fused into one being. I forget why. We had ice cream? Was that it?
I think so.
We got ice cream. And so I was just like, because I was like, we were walking back to our car, and I was just for fun, I was like, name any character from anything right now. And so then my sister named Yang, as a matter of fact, because she went to RWBY as the first option, of course. And I was like, okay, what would their favorite flavor of ice cream be?
Well, I think it would be more Blake's favorite, but Sunday.
It's supposed to be a pun because it was like I don't think it was Sunday, but it wasn't Sunday when we did that. But it's supposed to be a pun because Sunday, like the ice cream sundae, and the actual day Sunday.
Well, I was thinking the character son.
Oh, now it makes sense after the fact. That ain't bad, y'all. I was criticizing all podcasts. That ain't bad. It maybe isn't good, but it ain't bad, y'all. I just caught it. I caught it. It's in my hand now. I'm holding it. It's my child. Hello, child. You are an aunt now.
You're a mother just like Qrow.
I am a mother. Yes, I'm a mother, and I drink because I murdered everybody, apparently.
Murderous Q.
K-pop
group.
Pop stars. But it's murderous Q.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nobody bringing us down. Oh, wait,
Qrow and his backup dancers who are actual crows.
Just no. They're buff. They're buff bodies with crow heads. Yeah.
Yeah.
And instead of floaties, like in this pool, it's like a nest around their waist. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I can do that too. Now what you got, huh?
And then when they caw, Qrow smashed.
I think it's time we end. Maybe we should end. I'm thinking maybe we should end. Possibly. Maybe we should end.
Think so.
Will Smith. Jeez, I don't. That's a meme that came from my stream and somehow evolved into my family. Not happy about it. That's how it works sometimes.
Looks just like you.
No. Why?
Yes.
Why?
Why, oh why?
Yeah. So I'm probably going to, I don't like that I'm saying this, but I gotta get ready to record FNAF for the first time because I did a thing where all 6 games were on sale for $8 total, and I needed to build up my library at the time.
You poor thing.
And it's finally October, and so I'm a man of my word. So we're going to be playing this game, but the problem is when I was setting up for OBS, like making sure I could capture it, here's a problem. There's a problem when I did the test video, which was like 10 seconds, but it was all the 10 seconds that I needed. The title screen gets captured within the full thing. And in the video itself, the whole scene is captured. But for my computer, the title screen fits within the whole resolution, but the actual game doesn't. So the buttons and doors are like sliced in half, and I'm gonna die. It's gonna happen. So I'm not looking forward to that, but you guys can, because that's why people watch those videos, I guess, to watch people die. So, yeah, there we go.
To watch people suffer.
Exactly.
It's freaky.
Exactly. Num 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 num. There, I did it. I did the Batman. You happy?
Murderous Hulk.
No. By the way, let's just refresh this poll real quick. Let's see. Oh, yeah, that's right. We had that up. Because it was Lindsay Jones from Rooster Teeth that does the voice for RWBY, by the way. And if you hear the regular voice definitely sounds different than RWBY's voice. So they actually do a voice for RWBY. And then they can also change it for Chibi, which is pretty cool. They were featured in an article along with Markiplier and Nags, as a matter of fact. Nags 21. Yes, Penne Pasta. Yeah, I'm sorry. If you're watching or listening to this and you make it this far, sorry. I told them about the Penne Pasta. And so, yeah. Also, we had Penne Pasta like last week. It was delicious.
Now Nags can't watch. Look what you've done.
I don't.
Okay, now imagine. Oh no. Imagine Nags, Lindy, and Markiplier.
What?
With the Cinder Hulk body.
No. There's already a meme. There's already a Reddit dedicated to memes about him. Okay, last thing we need is him as the Hulk as well. But it's just.
Okay, but isn't that an upgrade from Penne Pasta?
I don't know. Is it? If they're watching, or if anyone's watching that's gonna relate that back, is would him as the Hulk be better? It's the Hulk with his head on it, and Penne Pasta just covering as well. Is that better than the Penne Pasta by itself, or is that worse? I'm thinking worse, but I'm dealing with a kid here. In which case, everything's always better.
Now I want pasta.
We're ending. I'm gonna get dinner because I gotta record these videos afterwards, and I gotta
bye
suffer. And any last closing stuff? Any actual closing stuff? Anything about voice acting? Any last stuff about that? Jeez. Anything about RWBY?
She's RWBY.
I meant, oh.
No, RWBY is an absolute gem.
Anything about the show?
Oh yeah.
Like overall.
Overalls. Okay, now imagine the entire cast in overalls.
And what was your name again as we sign out?
Hulk Cinder.
No. Why can't it be Block? Why can't we go back to Block? I take it back. Let's go back to Block.
Minecraft version of Cinder Hulk.
That's the right... Ella.
Cinder Vanilla.
I'll take that one. Guys, go to the poll and vote for Ella, because that's the one that needs to win suddenly now to prove my point, or actually just because she hasn't come up with a theory yet. So that one's obviously the one that should win.
Hulk.
No, stop voting for Hulk. It's winning right now. I'm not even live talking to people, and stop. Go.
The chocolate chip cookies have radiation, and the radiation turns everyone into Hulks.
Okay, we're ending. We're going away. Also, there is an article, though. Here it is. The Business Insider. That's what I was looking for. Because I remembered, because we mentioned Markiplier, we mentioned Nags, and then we mentioned... Well, actually, we didn't mention Lindsay by name, and that's part of why I wanted to look that up. All three of them were actually in a Business Insider article, which I always think that's kind of interesting, because every time I think I'm talking about kind of like different things, worlds collide, and here we go.
With the buff body.
No, they don't have Hulk bodies. Stop it. Look. Here's a picture of Mark right here. Look.
You just can't see it because it's his face.
Here's a picture of Lindsay
also,
right there.
I apologize to the three of you.
I would, but I'm not the one saying it.
But
see, look how normal they look.
But you're the one that hit record.
See, look at his face. He's like, why? Why?
Because he knows that the buff body could be more buff.
Achievement hunters. My bad. I think I said Rooster Teeth overall, specifically achievement hunters as well. My bad. See, look.
He just has. He's just not in his Penny Hulk form yet.
Penny Hulk. That's it. All right, we'll see you later. I'm Ben Gamrison. You know who I am, I guess. But yeah, we've had our special guest for part 2.
Chocolate chip cookies.
Who now goes by the name Chocolate Chip Cookies. Good enough. We're going to end the video there. Thank you so much for watching. I guess I should do the standard YouTube outro. It always feels weird. That's another example of kind of like quote-unquote scripting your stuff to kind of keep you in like kind of some sort of order. So, sorry, but here we go. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification, the actual subscribe button. But I don't know which video will be next. We're just gonna have to wait and see. So until this time, take care and enjoy pizza responsibly. Thank you for watching.
And don't forget to cinder burn.
Bye-bye.